Hey guys, how we doing? I'm Yalek. Wanted to do a very quick video. You can see I've got a couple minutes for my boys to retrain, and I'd like to be going shortly after they're done, so let's make this fast. Just had an interesting attack, and I have been asked to show some more kind of basic concepts with warriors. So here is a very simple attack. My lowest level account here. Lost 2 warriors on it, and the concept that we're looking at is figuring out your line. Alright, so this guy has super annoying mines, not a hard base, he doesn't have ice that I can see over there, looks like a lot of offense statues, and I don't have the time to count them. I'm going to use 1 barrage to try to clear mines, and I mean, if you look at this, you can go a little bit dizzy looking at this base, trying to figure out which mines you need to clear. What I do in this situation, I figure out where I want to park my troops, and in this case it was a very easy decision because I've got Bullet and warriors as always, and I want Bullet to fall in the blind spot of this shock launcher. So what I'm going to do is use that shock launcher as a gathering point before going to the HQ. That means Bullet will end up standing somewheres about here, most likely, either here or here, one way or the other. This shock launcher will be taunted, this doom cannon thing will be taunted, and then that's going to minimize my shocks because I'm going to need, this is going to range a tiny bit over here. That machine gun just sort of glances against the HQ, and definitely need the other shock launcher, and that's it. So that's an economical use of GBE. So figuring out what line we want to use. I need my endpoint to be here before I go to the HQ. That means I want to clear a bunch of mines in this area. I don't like shock mines, and I can see 3 of them right here. 1, 2, 3, and some other mines as well. There's also a boom mine here and a boom mine here. If I'm following this line up to the HQ, I'm going to need to clear those, and I'm going to leave this boom mine, and the idea is I'm going to try to path my troops as best as possible to try to avoid them. Gonna be mostly successful with that. Actually, the 2 troops that we lose here, one of them is to one of those boom mines, but for the most part the troops picked a path that I wanted them to take. Now, I let Bullet get a little bit up the beach there just because it'll save him a little time later and keep him closer to the warriors. Now, what I'm looking for here, I'm dropping all my troops, and what I'm trying to find, I'm looking back actually, like keeping an eye on your warriors with your peripheral vision here. What I'm looking at is this shock launcher here, and I'm trying to find a straight-ish line back to the beach. And that's where I want to land my warriors. So let's see how well I do that. Actually, that was the spot I picked. Could have been a little bit better, actually. I'm trying to avoid, again, this boom mine, so I'm trying to get my warriors to run in a path through the middle of them. I probably could have fixed this by using an extra flare, but that is a choice with GBE, again, all about economy. So I'm trying to pick a path roughly between the middle of them, and then when my warriors look like they're in a pretty fair line, they've got a pretty clear path to this shock launcher, then I'm going to flare them up, as you can see. Now I'm going to smoke as late as possible. When I saw the shock launcher's turn, and just before I came into range of the shock smoke as late as possible. When the shock launcher's turn, now you can take a little bit of shock launchers, god, I'm not speaking right, rocket launcher's turn, and the machine guns. You can take a little bit of rocket launcher fire, that's not too bad. Machine gun can see you for a second, that's not too bad, you're not worried about that. My biggest concern on this, not a huge deal, but one of the warriors, because this was not a perfectly straight path, you see, back to a perfectly straight path would lead like back to the beach over here, and I came from, oh, you can actually see that flare expiring over there. Not perfectly straight would be here. You see that little pink spot there? Yeah, so I was off by a couple tiles on that. So not perfectly straight, and this one warrior chooses to run to the left-hand side and get himself obliterated on a boom mine, and that was a poor choice. And it's my fault, not his, but troops are stupid, so they will do what they will do. And it's really up to you to try to control that. From here, this is pretty standard. I'm a tiny bit late on my shocks because, being honest with you, it's late at night and I've had a couple things to drink. Let's not say what, but fairly effective. I'm trying to get through this map. Don't have endless, like I said, need my troops to retrain. Should be done by now, I would think, because I've talked more than I should have by easily 3 minutes. That happens. But just a very, very quick tutorial on how to pick your line. Try to avoid as many, look at these mines. I mean, these are very messy and annoying mines. Try to avoid as many of them as possible, clear as few as possible. Get yourself to the HQ in as orderly a fashion as possible, and save yourself shocks. All of which makes your attack more effective and keeps more of your warriors alive, which is always the idea. Anyway, I'm going to try to do a few more of these as it occurs to me to do them, because, well, not everybody is into smashing, 7 ice bases with shields. That's kind of a side hobby of mine. But anyway, thought it might help. Like, thumbs up, you know how it goes. Catch you later.